Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson and you're watching Reality Survival. So as you may have been able to tell from the intro, I've partnered with the History Channel and the Alone series. Now for those of you guys who aren't familiar what the Alone TV show is, it's basically a survival competition that runs on the History Channel, and it is in Season 3. Season 3 will be starting up on December 8th. And basically what they do is they take 10 contestants and they take them out and they give them each individual areas where they have to survive in the wilderness as long as they can. Over the last 2 seasons, it's generally gone about 2 months, a little under 2 months or a little over 2 months. The first one was just under, and the second season was a little bit over. And there has been several YouTubers from the survival community that have been in this show, and it's just been really neat to kind of follow it along and, see how these guys do out there. They're self-documenting their whole experience. So there's no crew out there with them or anything like that. They give them the camera equipment, and they go out there and they're alone. And, kind of the neat thing about this is you get to see some of the real frustrations that people have to deal with in a extended survival situation like this. So I think that's kind of neat. In particular with Season 3, I think this is going to be really cool because they're going to be in the Rio Negro area of Patagonia, which is in Argentina. Patagonia is the southernmost tip of South America and kind of expands, the Patagonia area spans the border across Chile and Argentina both. But they're going to be in the Rio Negro area. I guess that's like Black River area. So it'll be exciting to see, where they put the contestants in that area, and, just how austere of an environment it is. That's what I'm really looking forward to the most. Hey guys, so also before I go, there is going to be, I'm going to show you 3 survival tips that I think are very applicable to the Alone series. And then at the end of it, I'm going to tell you the details about a giveaway that the History Channel and the Alone series are having. So make sure to stay tuned to the end. Okay, so for this first survival tip, what I wanted to talk about was something that I noticed as a theme throughout Alone Season 1 and 2. And that was when folks were processing their firewood, what they would do a lot of times is they would take it like this, and they would hold the stick up and they would be doing it like this. And then, the problem with that is it's a safety issue. When you're in a survival situation, and especially when you're alone, you really want to do everything you can to avoid injury if you want to be able to stay out there long term, right? So when you're doing this, if you miss and come down here, you're going to hit your hand. And that's exactly what happened to one of the contestants. And I saw several other people do it. And so what I would recommend, and what I'm going to offer for you today, is a safer way to process your firewood. So instead of splitting it on end like this, just take another branch about forearm size and put it down in front of you like this, and then work it, work the processing, splitting it long grain like this. Now, a lot of people might not like to do it this way, but as far as it being safer, it definitely is, because if you miss, the axe is just going to come down and hit this, or it'll hit the ground, or hit right here. It's not that big of a deal. You may have the log flip around a little bit if you hit it off the side and stuff, but that's really not that big a deal. It's not going to come up and hit you in the face or anything, as long as you've got the majority of the log on this side of the stick. So with that, basically you're just going to take it, like I said, if it goes off to the side, it's not that big of a deal. Try again here. There you go. So as you can see, we were able to split this down into half. Once you get that first half done, then the other pieces go a little easier usually. So you just take it here, kind of get it lined up. There we go, we got those into quarters. Set it this way. There we go. So now we've got that split down, you know, into a little bit smaller kindling, make it a little bit more manageable. And you can go, you know, down even further too if you need to. It really just depends on the grain of your wood, how fine it'll let you go this way. May take a couple times. There we go. Now you can get it even smaller. Now, once you get it down to this size, then you can just pull out your, you know, your regular knife, and you can start doing the same thing by twist splitting right here. You know, and you just work it down that way. And you can get down into your really small stuff. So that's tip number one. It's a little safer way to process your firewood in a wilderness survival situation, or really in any situation. The thing you want to avoid though is setting the wood up like this and then coming down, and you know, a lot of people do it like this, you know, or they're holding it and they're trying to split it like that and do that. That's dangerous. If you've got your hand underneath there, you're dehydrated, you're cold, you're, you know, borderline hypothermic, you're going to miss and you're going to be not as accurate. Stay away from that and go with the method where you lay it down on the edge. Okay guys, so for my next tip, it also relates to fire building, and this is a thing that I think a lot of people could benefit from in pretty much any environment in the world. But it's also going to be true in Patagonia, where they're going to be doing the Alone series this third season. So it's one of the most common things that I see in fire making that drives me crazy. So I'm hoping to help, you know, maybe put this to rest, and maybe we won't see people building fires the wrong way. Now really there's no wrong way as long as it goes, but if you want your best chances of success, then I suggest that you incorporate this tip here. The thing is you want to have a platform to set your tinder pile onto. As you can see, I've got some split logs right down here, which I split using the method in the last tip. And then I've also got about a forearm size piece of wood sitting next to the tinder. That is critically important because that helps give the fire the airflow that it needs. We know that fire needs fuel, it needs heat, and it needs oxygen. Oxygen usually is the most important one, and it's the one that most fires lack, and it's why you see people have to get down and blow on them and all that kind of stuff. So if you use a brace, you eliminate that possibility. So let me show you how this works right here. So basically I'm just going to go ahead and light this up. Just use my EDC lighter here. So we're going to get that going. And once the flames start coming up above the brace, then I know that I'm ready to go ahead and take some of my, you know, smallest size kindling and lay right across the top. Nope, it went out. Tinder bundle fell apart there. All right, so let's try again here. There, we got it going. So as I said, I'm just going to go ahead and lay that first layer of kindling across there. Once that goes, then I'm going to go ahead and take the second layer and I'm going to put it across crossways, and then let that build up a little bit more as we go. And you really don't have to mess with it, just let it burn. It's just gonna, you know, it's gonna feed itself naturally. Once the flames start coming up through both of those layers of kindling, then I know that I'm ready to go ahead and put on the next layer. Organization is key with fire building. If you guys noticed, I have my brace, I have my platform, I have my smallest kindling, I've got the next size kindling, and then I've got the fuel size. So that is the next important tip for people who are trying to build a fire in a wilderness survival situation. If you want the best possible outcome and you really need a fire to save your life, make sure to incorporate a platform and a brace to give your fuel the right mixture of heat, fuel, and oxygen. That way you don't have to get down and be blowing on it and all that kind of stuff. It's going to build up nice and fast, and you're going to have yourself a good fire. Okay guys, so the next and last tip is going to be speaking about what is probably the most relevant thing to the participants on Alone. You know, and that is, how do you deal with the psychology of being alone in the wilderness for a long period of time? And this is truly one of the most difficult aspects of this reality survival TV show competition. And you know, a lot of the guys that go out there, they've got the skills, they know what they're doing, they know how to build shelters, they know how to build fires, you know, and it's not the skills aspect that gets them, it's the being alone part. And I think one of the most important tips that I can provide on that is you've got to establish a routine. You've got to establish a routine, and you've got to take some time every evening and plan out your next day, okay? If you go to bed not knowing what you're going to do tomorrow, and you know, and you let the boredom get to you, and you let just the mundaneness of it all, of being there by yourself, get to you, that's when you're going to start doubting yourself, and that is what's going to cause you to tap out. I think if you have in your head every night before you go to bed the fact that, you know, tomorrow you're going to get up, you're going to go, you know, check your traps, then you're going to collect some firewood, then you're going to go get some water, you know, those kinds of things. Maybe you're going to build a table for doing food preparation, or maybe, you know, who knows what it's going to be. But you've got that list of items that you're going to be taking care of. That is going to give you some purpose. It's going to give you a sense of being out there, and it's also going to give you a sense of accomplishment. At the end of the day, you're going to be able to look back and you're going to say, okay, I was able to, you know, I managed to do this, I managed to do this, I managed to do this. And long-term wilderness survival is nothing more than, you know, trying to manage those small victories. And, you know, managing to find a little bit of food that day, managing to set out another couple traps, you know, those kinds of things are things that can go a long way towards helping you stay out there even longer. So that is my third tip, you know, that I would recommend for the contestants and for anybody who's ever stuck in a wilderness survival situation for a long period of time. Make sure you plan out your day, you establish a routine, you know, and you go through that every day trying to collect those small victories, you know, towards affecting your survivability. Now it's time for me to enjoy the fire. Okay guys, so those were my 3 tips that I think could be useful for anyone being in you know, the Alone series, whether that be myself or anyone else who is involved with it, or just anyone in any wilderness survival situation. You know, 3 good things to consider, you know, that could help you out. So anyway, as I mentioned earlier in the video, they are, Alone and the History Channel are having a giveaway, and the giveaway is pretty cool. It's going to have, it's going to feature this Alone card. I'll pull this out here in just a second and kind of give you guys a good look at it. And also, so this is one half of it. The other half of the giveaway is a $500 gift card to a sports retailer, and that hasn't been named yet, but I'm sure it's probably going to be something like, Dick's Sports or Cabela's or something along those lines. I don't know. But anyhow, so for the Alone card, this is actually a pretty heavy-duty little thing. It's one of these kind of things that's about credit card size and it's kind of designed to fit in your wallet, but it's thick. I mean, it's actually heavy duty. It's probably an eighth of an inch thick or so. And as you can see, it's got a saw blade. It's got a cutting edge on the front. You have a spear tip, and that could be used on an atlatl or a spear tip or whatever. Then you've got, I think this is the right dimensions here for like turning off gas in an urban survival kind of thing. Then you've got some nut drivers here, and then probably you could use that for a bottle opener as well as cutting cord and that kind of thing. But they say it's a 21-in-1 survival card, and I'm sure you could do a lot of stuff with it. I think probably one of the coolest things you could do with this, the way it's set up, is basically set it up as like a little tomahawk or a hatchet or something. It's probably going to work out pretty well. But anyhow, so all you got to do to enter the giveaway is just go to the link in the description below and click on that link, and then it'll take you to, just follow the steps on it. And I believe that you can enter that daily, so I think you can enter it multiple times, and then at the end of the season, they will pick a winner from it. So if you go through and enter it a bunch of times, you got a pretty good shot of winning $500 plus one of the Alone cards. So I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. As always, I definitely appreciate those people who choose to subscribe and those who hit the thumbs up button. As always, also, don't forget to live the 6 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.